told you about a judge halting a new rule that would make millions of Americans eligible for overtime pay starting December 1st.
But some business owners say ruining morale is not worth it. Kamasi Aaron explains.
At 2WR Plus Partners, this small team of employees is more like a family.
Where you working home?
That's why when a judge delayed a new overtime law days before it was set to go into effect, partner Sam Andre said he couldn't just take back pay increases they'd already received.
You definitely can't say, sorry, can we get a refund? Hey guys, can we take back that raise?
Andre's architectural firm gave the raises to accommodate the new law, which would have made workers earning less than around $47,000 eligible for overtime pay. Meeting that threshold cost the firm.
For our business, it was about $75,000. And, when you think about it, that's, in Georgia, that's a young architect and an intern. That's 2 positions.
Legally, Andre's firm can reverse the changes, but he says the negative morale just isn't worth it. It's a decision other businesses are making too.
It seemed like most people are sticking with, we're just going to keep it.
Mark Cicatello worked with companies in Arizona, Utah, Colorado, and Wyoming ahead of the change. He says with the judge's ruling and subsequent delay, most are staying the course.
57% of our members actually went ahead and implemented the change. Now, of those 57% that implemented, 78% said they were going to go ahead and keep the changes that they had already made.
Big name companies like Kroger, Walmart, and Wendy's are sticking with the changes they made as well. While employee salaries have changed, Andre says the firm's income hasn't, and they don't plan on asking customers to pay more. Still, he believes some things matter more than the money.
We have employees who are 100% committed to us, and we give that same commitment back to them.
That was Kamasi Aaron reporting. The Labor Department has appealed the judge's order to halt the overtime law. Right now, it's not clear if the department will move forward with the case after President-elect Donald Trump takes office.
Coming up in just moments at 5, it was an altercation caught on camera that cost former Bellevue City Administrator Dan Berlowitz his job. Today, a Sarpy County judge sentenced Berlowitz for the incident. What message did the judge send to Berlowitz when he handed down the sentence and the warning he had for them? Also at 5, a couple who were among the hundreds of Salvation Army bell ringers who gave up their time to help the homeless got a little help themselves. The special gift they received from Borsheim's and the Salvation Army as a special thank you for their efforts.
Traffic Now brought to you by Rebath. Transform everything in your bathroom, floor to ceiling with Rebath.
A couple of trouble spots to be aware of, including a crash out west, eastbound Dodge at about 144th, another wreck northbound 60th and L, and then watch out for a stalled vehicle eastbound Q right about 115th Street. Here's a live look. I-80 at 680, not too bad. Interstates look pretty good again tonight. We're not seeing any major delays. You will see some brake lights on, though, along 80 westbound as you make your way towards Harrison Street. Cammie Carlisle, KMTV Action 3 News.
An update to breaking news we brought you at 4. Omaha police released new information that they hope will help them solve last Friday's West Omaha murder.
Police believe they know what vehicle the 2 suspects were driving when 50-year-old Michael Brinkman was shot. Brinkman was shot in the doorway of his home on Tammy Trail near 180th and Q just before 6 last Friday evening in what police believe may have been a robbery.
This afternoon, police released these surveillance photos of the suspect vehicle. It's a white, newer model Dodge Durango that was seen in the neighborhood at the time of the shooting. Reporter Nick Starling is live with more on this case. Nick?
Emily, Megan, I knocked on several doors here in Michael Brinkman's neighborhood. Those that answered are still too shooken up over this murder, but his visitation is tonight and his funeral is tomorrow. Now, police have yet to catch the 2 men who they believe shot Brinkman during what they believe is a robbery attempt last Friday night, but still they feel they may be getting closer. Police released these photos taken from a home security camera of a vehicle seen in the Tammy Trail neighborhood around the time of Brinkman's shooting. The photos show a white, newer model Dodge Durango, which investigators believe the 2 suspects used during the crime. During a prayer vigil for Brinkman Monday night, his ex-wife Michelle said he loved the outdoors and remained in their life even after their divorce.
I just can't say enough about what a good man he really was, and to the community his friends, and I mean, I'm just overwhelmed.
Brinkman recently sold his business, XL Roofing, and was getting set to retire. Once again, police are looking for a white, newer model Dodge Durango that was seen in the neighborhood around the time of the shooting. Anyone with information is urged to call the Omaha Homicide Unit, and that number is 402-444-5656. Any tip leading to arrest can be eligible for a $25,000 reward. Reporting live in West Omaha tonight, Nick Starling, KMTV Action 3 News.
Lincoln police hope surveillance photos will lead them to 2 suspects in a violent bank robbery. Police say 2 men walked into the Union Bank and Trust at 68th and O Streets Wednesday evening, and one had a gun. That suspect fired a shot, but no one was hit. The 2 then took the money and got away. Police do not have a description of a possible getaway vehicle.
The altercation caught on camera. Today, a judge sentences former Bellevue City Administrator Dan Berlowitz, but not before reprimanding him. The June incident cost Berlowitz his job. Senior reporter Jake Wozakowski is live with what the judge had to say. Jake?
Emily, Berlowitz pleaded no contest to disturbing the peace recently, but the judge felt he didn't take responsibility for his crime at the time. So this time, the judge made sure he showed genuine remorse.
Former Bellevue Administrator Dan Berlowitz is given a $50 fine by Judge Robert Wester in Sarpy County Court this morning. It stems from a June incident at a Bellevue dentist office where his wife had recently been fired. Surveillance shows the altercation. Berlowitz points at the doctor who asked him to leave and told prosecutors he felt threatened. What was said differs on both sides.
I made an error in this situation, and so I'm glad the judge obviously recognize that, and I'm not trying to cover it up or deny it, but I just want to be able to move on in a positive way and have this over with.
The judge wanted him to finish counseling before the sentencing. Berlowitz says he completed 15 sessions for anger and anxiety.
This was a $50 fine case from the very beginning, and he wanted to support Mr. Berlowitz, have him get some counseling, and that's what happened.
The judge scolded Berlowitz before giving him the fine. Previously, he hadn't shown remorse for his actions and even painted himself as the victim.
Overall, I'm satisfied. He did have to go through a fair gamut. I also think the stern lecture from the court was pretty helpful, and I think reasonably well taken.
Judge Wester said he placed a lot of importance on accepting responsibility and was going to watch the news tonight. If he saw Berlowitz didn't accept responsibility for his actions, he'd remember that when reconsidering his conviction.
Mr. Berlowitz, what did you feel he did wrong as the judge said that was one of the big things?
I don't think we want to really get into that at this point.
The judge was referencing an application to set aside the conviction. If Berlowitz doesn't have any criminal conduct for 6 to 9 months, they can ask for the conviction to be wiped so it wouldn't have to be reported on job applications. Berlowitz hasn't had a job since being fired. Reporting live, Jake Wozakowski, KMTV Action 3 News.
Now, your Weather Alert First Forecast.
Well, with the wind today, it may have felt like the lower 30s, but our actual temperatures climbed once again in the 40s and stands at 41 degrees right now as the sun goes over the horizon. Beautiful sunset again for the metro with a west wind at 14 miles an hour. Drive time weather, we're going to be seeing the winds continue to die down eventually, but it's a bit breezy for now. And tomorrow it's going to be a bit colder when you head out the door to head to work. Shouldn't be a problem though. Clear skies in terms of your commute to work, 21 degrees the morning reading. And then for this evening, if you have some plans, it's going to be a little chillier than we've seen the past couple of evenings, from 33 at 7 o'clock to 29 at 10 o'clock. It's going to get a whole lot colder heading into 2017. More on that upcoming in just a few minutes.
Dozens of volunteers stood out in the cold during the holidays to ring bells at Salvation Kettles across the metro to help the homeless and less fortunate. For one volunteer, their time spent next to the kettle really paid off today.
Hey, will you marry me again?
Yes. A redo proposal for Carla Lubeck and fiance Cam Broham, this time with a diamond.
I didn't know until I got here today, and I started shaking at the thought of it.
Borsheims and the Salvation Army partnered to play Cupid, gifting the lucky couple an engagement diamond in return for their hard work bell ringing for the Salvation Army Red Kettle campaign.
Awesome, unreal, exciting.
The couple were engaged last August but had to put their plans on hold to buy a diamond. This afternoon, in a ringing act of generosity, they were selected as part of the Borsheim's Big Ring promotion.
When's the wedding?
Winning a 14-karat white gold engagement piece for their efforts bell ringing on 50th and Center Street.
Do good for others and you'll get something back.
The Borsheim's Big Ring promotion was the first of its kind by the Omaha chapter of the Salvation Army to encourage volunteering.
There are people who would have nothing, would be without home, without shelter, without food.
And when asked if the couple plans to bell ring next year,
every year. It's a tradition.
They plan to exchange I-do's September 23rd of 2017 here in Omaha. If you'd like to donate to the Salvation Army's Ring the Town Red campaign, you've still got time. It continues through the 31st.
Although winter is just starting, the city of Omaha is already looking for people who want a job this summer. The Omaha Parks and Recreation Department continued interviews at the Christie Heights Community Center near 37th and P in South Omaha this morning. They're looking to fill a bunch of summer positions, which include lifeguards, camp counselors, and maintenance workers. Demolition of a nearly century-old school in Council Bluffs is well underway. Crews are knocking down the old Walnut Grove School, which closed after the 2013-14 school year. In its place, at least 7 single-family homes will be built, with construction expected to begin next summer. Community development block grants are being used to pay for that demolition.
For those wanting to ring in the new year with a bang, fireworks sales began today in Sarpy County. Unlike in the summer before the 4th of July, it's illegal to sell fireworks in Douglas County. A portion of the sales, which continue through Saturday, go to nonprofit groups. You can legally set off fireworks in Douglas and Sarpy counties until New Year's Day. You can catch Omaha's big fireworks show on Saturday. KMTV is a proud sponsor of the Holiday Lights Festival. We will air the New Year's Eve fireworks display at Jean Leahy Mall live right here on KMTV. Our Craig Negrelli will host the event. You can watch it on air or online at kmtv.com starting Saturday at 7 p.m.